Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Shaq here, and welcome to Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries, the sandbox Mechwarrior game, because there is Mechwarrior 5 Clans that came out. That's the more recent one. We're playing Mercenaries, this is the older one, and we're playing modded. This is a challenge run, the road to 3025. If you don't know, the game takes place in 3015 in the Battletech Universe, and our challenge is gonna be to try to, well, it's 3 parts, and I'm gonna put them on the screen right now. Our goals are to survive to the end of the Succession Wars, that is 3025. Not that our character would know when the war was gonna end, but we're just gonna try to make it, right, as a mercenary company. And that's our job in the base game, is to just manage and develop a mercenary company that travels through the galaxy. We're gonna try to make it to 3025 is the big goal. In that time frame, that 10 years, we've got to seek revenge against Liao and the Capellan Federation, which I'll talk more about later, and then we need to establish ourselves. And by that, it means have 3 full lances of 12 mechs, 4 mechs per lance, and 30 million C-bills in the bank by that 10-year period. So let's go ahead and dive in to the campaign and get it all set up. First thing I'm gonna wanna do is go to New Career. We're gonna be playing as the, where are they? House Steiner with our Griffin, our 2 commandos and a Locust. Though they're 2 different kinds of commandos, and man, I do not like the Commando as a mech. We have 3 light mechs and a Griffin, a 55-tonner, which is gonna be our bread and butter. I hope we can swap these out. I do love me a Locust, though. This is hands down my favorite mech in Battletech. It is cheap. In the base game, it's like, from people were telling me about this, like in the tabletop, it's small enough that you can fit 2 per bay or something in, which is hilarious. Like, this is the mech that you buy in packs of 6 at a time because it's so cheap. And you notice there are some quirks on that list because of the mods we're running. By the way, all mods will have links in the description. And I'm going to talk about the setup a little bit today in this episode as we get started. But all right, we're gonna be working as House Steiner. We're nobles who have basically been kicked out of our nobility due to a Capellan plot. And that's why our second goal is seek revenge against the Capellans. House Liao, way down here, these guys. That's our goal. That means we're gonna max out our negative standing with them by taking as many missions as we can against them. Because screw those guys, they're jerks. Let's go ahead and, oop, wait a minute. Yeah, looks good. We are with Steiner, the massive economy and heavy mechs. The idea with them is that they're so damn rich that they can just pump out heavy mechs and like assault mechs and not even blink an eye. We're gonna do New Career, we're not importing any data, and I am going to skip past the intro here, basically giving you a background of what the Battletech Universe is in a really broad sense, which I'll talk about as we play. I am streaming this over on Twitch, so if you see some stuff popping up on screen, that's just people throwing support my way. Raz, I appreciate that. Thanks for the tier 1. I too have some tabletop minis for Battletech. More recently, I picked up a couple of like the starter boxes, and I just really enjoyed painting them. So I've got them like set up on display behind me, including my Locust. So our symbol, I don't have any of the mods installed that increase the number of these, though there are quite a few. I kind of like the star. Go back. Yeah, let's go with this. And our Merc company will be Shaq's Slackers. All right, confirm. What are we gonna choose? Well, if you're gonna play along with me, you're gonna see me set this up. We want to turn on yet another Mech Labs upgrade system. This allows us to upgrade our dropship, our home flying around through the galaxy. We're gonna be able to upgrade this, and I'm gonna turn on, for the challenge run, the upgrades only cost C-bills. We don't have to grind out the cantina missions, which is weird because you have to like find them, and then they're gonna ask you for weird stuff like, bring me the head of an urban mech. Like, why? That's bizarre. How about I just pay money for somebody to do the job? And because one of our challenges is build up 30 million C-bills in 10 years, choosing which of these upgrades we take is going to be a big deal for us. It's gonna be part of our strategy on how to actually make our objectives. Also, cool thing if you're gonna play along with us. If you play along with us and you make it to 3025 and you make these objectives, it sets you up, I think it'll set us up perfectly for the first DLC, which is the Kestrel Lancers one, which starts at 3026, 1 year after this challenge ends. So if we're having a lot of fun with it, we can keep going. Another thing we wanna do is use partial salvage, Mech Salvage version 2. We want to turn that on. For me, it's already on. As I understand it, this is not by default, though I've been told this is the most stable version of the mech salvage system that YAML adds to the game. What does that mean? If we blow up a mech and we really like that mech, we can get parts of it, and if we gather enough pieces, then our engineer on board, our mechanic, can cobble together something that turns into that mech, right? With a variety of equipment, because we're not gonna turn this on. I don't think this is on by default either. No weapons, equipment, and assembled mechs. I like this because it's kind of like a loot pinata. You don't know what you're gonna get when you put a mech back together, but it gives you a little bit more of a reward for having collected those parts, right? All right, what else? Not gonna change anything here, not gonna change anything here. Everything else looks pretty good. All right, this is just our default. We're gonna stay as default settings. I'm not loading any of the preloads. Looking good. It's gonna run its first run to give all of the mechs their various engines and stuff. Now, real quick, I know this is a lot of setup. There's our mech bays down there that we were just talking about. There's my baby locust in the back. Let's hit escape. Let's go to, there's that same menu we were just in. You can get back into it if you wanna make changes. So if you don't like what you've done, or if you didn't set something up right, it's actually really forgiving with mods, Mechwarrior 5. And with the settings, you can tweak those as you go, and it doesn't seem to cause any real issue. But if we go to options, one of the mods in the mod list down below is the ModOptions tab, which is this tab right here in the top right-hand corner, and you'll be able to set up all of your difficulty. I should put links in this video to skip all this if you don't want to play along and don't really care about any of this. Now, the big mod that we're using is a mod called Battletech 3015, which is a lore-friendly mod that slows the gameplay down, makes it feel a little bit more tactical. It really does change how the game feels by slowing down your fire rate by about 2 times what it normally would be and making a bunch of other changes behind the scenes. But we need to make it play nice with the rest of the game's balance. So under yet another mech lab, and you can follow along with their guide on the Nexus page or follow along with what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna recommend for this challenge is gonna be a little bit different. 1, we're leaving melee damage at 1.0, which is I think what 3015 actually recommends. We're gonna bring down ammo scaling to 0.5. By the way, you can't type in this space. I don't wanna talk about how long it was before I learned that you could do that, and I kept messing with the bar scrolling thing, and you can't get it perfect. Here's where my settings change. Armor scaling, structure scaling, it's recommended for 3015 to run 0.5. I find that makes the combat a little bit too fast, and I want more of kind of a almost simulated tabletop vibe where I have more time to make decisions. That means we need to have a little bit more survivability, and 3015 already makes it so big, heavy weapons that fire very, very slowly are very impactful. Maybe even a little too impactful. So I have them at 0.7, and I find this feels really, really good. So this is effectively how good your armor and structure for you and for the enemy is, and is gonna dictate how long fights kind of take, right? You're gonna be feeling like AC-10s and PPCs hitting really, really hard still. That slower fire rate, because we're turning down what the armor resistance is, that slower fire rate doesn't feel so bad. It just means that those individual shots mean more because armor is less effective. It'll make more sense as we play, particularly you vets who play a lot of Mechwarrior 5. You'll be like, oh, this seems pretty different. Personal choice, tank step on death. You're a mech, you should be able to kick a tank over upside down. I find that hilarious. I keep this on, and this is self-balancing a bit, because if you do run over a tank, you're probably in like a light mech or a medium mech. If you run over a tank, you're gonna take armor damage when you do it. So it kind of balances, like, do you run through that vehicle, or do you just shoot them with your weapons? If you do so, you're gonna take armor damage, or maybe even structure if you're already popped on armor. So yeah, I recommend leaving this on because it's fun. 3015 recommends turning on the rebalance. My testing, I wasn't thrilled with it, so I turned it off, and I think it runs better without it, but that's up to you. I don't recommend it for the challenge. And then the tank scaling, I do recommend bumping these up to 1.5, meaning that VTOLs and tanks and turrets will have a little bit more health. But I don't recommend having their unnerfed button, which is right here. It's recommended in 3015 to turn this on. I don't, because turrets pop out of nowhere and there's so many of them. I don't find that very realistic. So giving them that constant, almost always perfect accuracy chip damage is really boring. So I turn that off. What other changes did I make? I knocked down non-player layouts pilot skill by 1. It's not a huge change, but it just makes their pilots suck a little bit, like all other pilots suck just a little bit more. This means more in the early game, it feels like, than the mid and the late game, because by that time, when you're fighting in those high-value war zones and areas, you're gonna find that their skills are already high enough that they can make up for it. But it makes you feel a little bit more awesome when you're like dipping and diving and dodging shots with that little -1 modifier that they've got. Beyond that, though, I don't think I changed any of these other... Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then VTOL damage avoidance, no, because it just means they're gonna shrug off shots they shouldn't be able to. So why do that? Though it is a little weird that VTOLs fly so damn low and so damn slow. I'll never understand why Mechwarrior thought that was a good idea. Lore-abiding citizen, definitely turn this on because we're playing a lore-friendly 3015 timeline. If you want to play with this along with me, this is one of the things you want to turn on. This will also turn off stuff like the silly, was like the big gyro and the gigantic PPC weapon that I think was added in a DLC. That stuff will get pushed aside. Let's see. We don't want any clan internals or clan invasion stuff because we're way too early for that, so we turn all that off. Beyond that, I think we're pretty much good to go. If you hate a certain type of mission, you can turn them off in Coyotes. Coyotes is a mission pack. And then Von HUD. Von HUD, only thing you really need to know about this, we'll talk about the cool features, is if you want to run it, it's completely optional. It's not going to affect your difficulty too much. Von Commander might a little bit, depending on how you look at it, is this bar right here. It lets you put your HUD colors as transparent. So if you want to be able to see through them, there's your one. I was running this like NVG green for a long time, and chat made fun of me. But, you know, you do you. You do you. All right, so let's go ahead and apply all that. I don't think we did any real changes. I think we're good to go for our first operation. Okay, so, what are we doing? Well, welcome aboard, if you've never seen this game, by the way. Our 4 mech bays are down there. You can walk around and really get a sense of the scale. I want to say YAML actually rebalances the size of these to be a little bit more of one of the variants of the lore, being lore-friendly. Let's head on over to here. You can hit tab to get into this menu, or if you want to be a little bit more immersive, you can walk around. Here's the lady that's going to be giving all of our mission briefs and yelling at us during missions, giving us intel that we need to know. Into our operation. Let's see our battle mechs. We're gonna get all the little pop-ups for first time playing. We're in the Steiner blue and white. Yeah, that's probably gonna get repainted, but for right now, we're probably gonna keep it. And then, the commando. An SRM commando and a large laser commando. Yep, and then what kind of locust? Energy locust? Machine gun energy locust. Ooh. I love the locust, but this isn't the variant that I'm a huge fan of. I like the locust that normally comes, I think it's called the M variant, the 1M. It comes with missile pods in its little arm doohickeys. And I like to swap those out for SRMs. Not a lot of ammo there, but you can really zoom and boom. You zoom through the battlefield while the other mechs are keeping their attention, and then you just snipe off at point blank range all the squishy bits that you don't want them to have, right? SRMs are very short range, like missiles. They're not quite rockets. They should be, for all intents and purposes, because they're basically dumbfire, and you shoot them at relatively close ranges, but rockets are a different thing in Battletech. Don't ask me why. Okay, so there's all of our weird quirks. We're also running, under barracks, we're also running the pilot overhaul so that we can do stuff like this. We can edit the commander to be me, and we can change my picture. I promise we're gonna get into a mission in just a second. It's always the setup, right? I need somebody with like, come on. No, not feeling it. No. Look at that hair. Yeah, that's probably more, that's actually fairly accurate to my current look. I look like I've just come down from the mountain in real life, so cool. You're not gonna have a voice for your character, but you're gonna hear the voices of the other pilots because you can customize them, and because they're not you, they actually get voice lines, which you can customize here. And of course, there's mods out there to change all these if you wanna add like more options. Hey, Valen Court. Yep, this is the beginning of the Road to 3025 mercenary campaign. I'm just going through some of the setup. What do I want to do? Well, man, all right, let's do a little setup here. Let's customize these mechs. Hey, Big Magnova, thanks for the tier 1. And New VN. Jay, thanks for the Twitch Prime. You guys are starting up a hype train. I appreciate it. Running one of the Vaughn HUDs. I'm not sure if you went for the Patreon version. I'm not running Patreon version this time. I am a patron. I don't think I'm an active patron right now because I took a break from Mechwarrior. I should probably get back in there. I assumed Vaughn Commander was public by now. And I was really surprised when I couldn't like use the building menu. So I guess I need to get that version, but I don't know if that version's updated. So yeah, it gets a little weird. An SRM6, SRM4. Let's drop the medium laser. I know some people are gonna freak and max the armor. It's a commando. What maxing armor just did is it brought up these bars right here. So we have more survivability in this mech. He's full on nothing but SRMs. I'm gonna go for it. We're probably not gonna keep the commando for long if I have the opportunity to sell it or it explodes. Loadout on our other one is a large laser, medium laser. Let's just drop the SRM2s and the ammo that goes with it. And again, max armor. More or less, I need them to survive and keep the enemy busy. I want those pilots to gain some experience and not die. And then it's gonna be up to our big boy Griffin to get the work done, which is what we're gonna be piloting for the most part. Hey, Locust. I'd love to give you some health too. Chewy, thank you for the gifted subs, dude. Thanks, man. It's a Locust. Like, what could I drop? Yeah, we need 4 heat sinks for the engines. We can't even drop the heat sinks. A machine gun? Maybe that's what, half a ton? Yeah, half ton. Hey, a half ton of armor is a half ton of armor. Let's drop 1 machine gun. Max that up, start that work. Notice everything is gonna take time and money. And that's the real challenge of playing mercenaries, is that you're constantly balancing that time versus money. And because we put such a hard time on this, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fun to like make those hard choices. If we go to operations, I swear we're gonna play it a second. We can see our drop ship and all of the cool little upgrades we can do. One of our big limiters that you're gonna find is that our mech bays, mech bay 2, 3, and 4, all have weight limits. And so we're gonna have to decide if we wanna up the tonnage of those bays. So if we wanna get to 55 tons, which is the equivalent of what we have right now in the Griffin, for mech bay 2, then we're gonna have to spend 500 credits, and this gets exponentially more expensive. And remember our money goal. Is that 70 million? So you wanna overcompensate? They say size isn't everything, but on the field, size really does matter. Time to whip it out, Mechwarrior, and show them who's bigger. Removes tonnage restrictions for all mech bays. 70 million seatbelts. Yeah, we're not gonna have that. That upgrade's just not happening, I'm sorry. And as a Locust pilot, it's not about the size of the mech, it's how you use it. All right, let's look at the star map and find a job. This is gonna give us our brief on how a star map works. We don't really need that. Let's take a poke. Right now we're in an industrial center over here next to Florida. Hey, there's a Phoenix Hawk there. What? Okay, hang on, we're gonna pop over and take a look at this Phoenix Hawk. We can't afford it. I don't know why I'm looking at it. That was a rare mech on the solar system map, and one of our mods is giving us more information on that map so we can find jobs a little bit easier. Basically, we can see who's offering the job, which is not a default thing. Rare Phoenix Hawk. I actually really like the Phoenix Hawk. No, I don't. I'm thinking of the Shadow Hawk. The Phoenix Hawk looks like a bad Microsoft Halo ripoff, and I've never liked this mech. Ew. And it's in high heels. Not holding that against it, you do you, but I'm not a fan. It's just, this mech is just not, it's a lot of jump jets. That thing can fly. Structure repair cost is 50% cheaper. Really, improved communications gets a sensor range bonus. Ooh, command mech, sensor range bonus of 50 meters. Oh, I bet this is the same bonuses that the Cyclops gets, because it's considered a command mech too. Anyways, we're very broke. Let's go do a job. Oh man, thanks for the hype train, guys. Yeah, but David, you're in like another class of playing right now. You're at a whole nother level. So if we look at these little areas for starting, we've got brown coats. Yes, that symbol is almost a perfect rip that's Independence, by the way, is that you can barely see it, I'm sure, on YouTube. But what we're versus that the one on the left, which is a brown star, is the hiring, and it's against who you're taking a job against, which would be who we want to work for right now. Steiner, while we're not noble anymore, still likes us and will pay us better than anybody else right now, I bet. So we need to find a job that Steiner is willing to pay us for. And for some reason, every single one of these are against Steiner, which is not really what we want in the least. Every one of these are like against Steiner, or all right, whatever. We'll go.
All wings reporting.
Kill contract. We're real bad. We need like a scout job. There's a patrol, but it's against Steiner, so we're not going to do that. These are both against Steiner. Okay. There's a raid. We could do a raid. Let's do a raid.
All wings reporting.
Raid means that we're going to, I believe we're landing, hitting quick, destroying an objective, and then getting out of there. Man, that's still really far out, and they're not gonna pay us much. So it's 45 days of travel for 200,000 sea bills. Already down a couple of months. At least our work is gonna get finished in the mech bed. Psychorphic, thank you for gifting a sub to Quick. And Freelancer, hey, 56 months. I'm enjoying it so far. Which this could be the Space Sea of Thieves. Oh, the jump sub. I have played the jump sub demo. Yeah, it's very twitchy. I like it. View transmissions. We got a job from Markson, one of our dad's contacts, if I remember right. He wants us to get our reputation up. It's kind of like the starting quest, and we'll get quests and stuff pop up as we go. I don't know if we're gonna get paid for this or anything. We might get, I have no idea. I think it's just like an early objective, and you can go under operations objective log to see what your quests are. All right, so contracts. Now that we're in the area, we can negotiate the jobs. We can go pillage the periphery realms, which, okay, I don't mind. I'll work for the Independents. So, our intelligence apparatus has identified key supplies that are essential to our enemy's warfare. Get in there and blow them up. Confirm the job. Let me guess, payout's gonna be absolute trash. Barely pays for the fuel it took to get out here. But if we go for salvage, we might be able to get something half decent. It's still only seven, like, I don't know what you would call this. It's how many points of salvage that you can negotiate for. So we're gonna go for as much as we can. Now we'll get more of these negotiating points the more certain factions like us. At the moment, I'm just trying to get beer money.
Mind the weather, Commander. It'll compromise your visibility.
Oh, I don't regret this. Yeah, salvage share, that's what it is, salvage share. All right, here we go. Reduced visibility. Did that say ice fog? This is Coyotes. So Coyote mission pack also comes with a bunch of cool mechanics. We'll talk more about like how you get tanks and aerospace assets for your company. You can actually deploy an entire secondary lance with Coyotes. We don't have a secondary lance, but you'd be able to choose them through here. And then choose even how they eject if you don't want to risk losing those mechs. We're not gonna use a second lance though, because we don't have it. I have a feeling we're not even gonna have this lance intact for very long.
We've been hired to raid for supplies.
All right.
All wings reporting.
How we looking? Our commando. We've got, because we're running Von HUD, we've got a rear camera. Is it useful? But it's there. It exists. I'm ordering everybody fall in on me. We look out our left-hand window, you'll see a big old missile tube. That's where our LRMs come out of. I love that we can actually see it next to the next to our cockpit. That's kind of cool. If we hit B, we can see our current like just map readout. This will give us anything on sensors, but because we're running Von Commander, if we hit page up, we can see the satellite perspective because hey, we came here in a freaking spaceship and we have two, no, we have one main objective I think is down south and I'm not picking up any hostiles right now. We can order our units to move around with this menu, and they will follow us. We can change our formations if we want to. We can change the scanner overlay if we want to see this more directly. We can zoom in. There's our Griffin moving out. I spotlighted this when it first came out ages and ages ago. But we can't see where our objectives are. So I think we need to go all the way south. And we'll pop back into normal mode. And let's look at this map again, just to make sure I'm going the right way. I am totally not. There is an objective. There is a building over here. Complete objectives at all locations. Thank you. Wow, briefing. You really have, you stunned me. Oh, we need to change our punchy punch to 4. There we go. 3 is our LRMs. We've got a hostile who's hit my arm. That sucks. Large laser.
There, Commander. Approach the hidden object to pick it up.
Ooh, we got loot.
Scrap that one.
Target acquired.
Our short lasers are not great for this kind of range. Let's knock him out.
Target destroyed.
Now, what do we see? I don't see. Oh, there's the smoke. One of the mods that we're running, totally optional. You don't have to have it for the challenge if you don't want it, is a replace the icon, the indicator. There we go. Knock out those turrets. Which is normally just like this energy beam marker with smoke.
Ready to start pickup operation.
Hey, we got some loot. We'll find out what that is in the bottom left-hand corner in just a second. Missiles away. Got 2 tanks coming in. We'll probably stay mobile. Ow! Screw you, tank.
Jump jet fuel low.
Gotta keep the laser on target or it's not gonna do that much damage.
Jump jet fuel.
We got you, boss.
All targets engage that. All lance mates. There we go.
Destroyed.
Got a little bit of damage. So what's over here? Oh, middle left, it shows what we got. We got 15,000 C-bills and an LRM-20. Nice. We got loot.
If you find the acquisition, just walk up to it.
Oh, our objective is literally loot the stuff. Oh, hell yeah. I am here for this objective. Do I get to keep it? We need to keep moving. We need to keep moving. We need to stay away from those mechs. We don't have the firepower to survive much. And I've already taken some damage to my arms. Which, on this thing, is my... Ah! What was that?
Target
Oh, a
acquired.
stupid turret. This is what I hate about the turrets. Like, there was a cool opportunity with the turret idea to make it like, this could have been what the infantry did in the game, right? Like, what's the difference between a field gun and a turret? Other than, like, animation.
Target destroyed.
Automated turrets are just not that interesting to fight against.
Target is
There we go.
tied.
All right, we have a long way to go. So there's probably an argument to be had. Let's use our satellite uplink. And give me a scanner overlay. We do have a hostile something. Looks like, yeah, it's a Jenner. We got a long way to go too. Let's jump down here, team. Not that I wouldn't mind taking on that Jenner. We do have salvage. We've got like 6-7 points of salvage. And we take out the Jenner, we might get pieces of it. If it's intact, there's no way we'll be able to negotiate for the whole thing, because our employer doesn't care about us that much. And we're on the move.
Target acquired.
Oh, that's an interesting. So one of the reasons why they might not have had infantry in the game, they did actually add them, but they, oh, Jenner's behind us. Came in behind us. Coming around the corner right now. Engage that target. Let's lag him. No, we want to detonate him. We want to detonate him. Punch, punch. Get away before he goes. Critical. Oh, he might have bailed. I think he bailed. All right, on me.
I can't target that, Commander.
Nope, sorry, on me.
Attack. What now?
Form on me.
Lead the way.
There we go. So F1, collect everybody. F2,
Positioning on you,
follow me.
Commander.
I had it off where I was hitting like, hey, you individual. I was telling you to attack someone. All right, we're on the move. Hey, Griffin's not a bad mech. I don't think it's gonna be my shtick, but we can also do this. Yes, this is the cockpit of a real mech right here. And so 100 mech warriors all groaned at once when he said that. And angry comments were typed. Like, it even leans. It's like a motorcycle of mechs. Coolest thing about the Locust is, yeah, it's fast, but it's also such a tiny silhouette. It's so low to the ground, and it has one of my favorite things, which is weapons mounted up high. I don't like weapons on arms, like the Commando, for instance. It's not as bad as some, particularly ones with really low. You got jump jets, don't you? Oh, you guys don't even have jump jets? God, Commandos suck. I'm take the Griffin out. I could scout this out with our Locust, but I think we're just gonna walk right into it. And grab the last loot. It's so far away. Oh, that screams potential loot here. Something we can take home with us. Not everything is gonna be just an objective. You can find loot just in the world by exploring. But you have to get close enough to identify it. They played around with this a bit more in clans, where when you hit tab, you go into a scanning mode. You can actually scan for stuff like ammunition and whatnot. If you don't diss my Irby, I won't talk about your Locust. You know what? Them's fair. That's fair words. Yeah. There's a fan song called My Boyfriend is a Locust Pilot, and it's fantastic. All right, we're heading up. Come on, team. Get up here. I'm still the tankiest thing we've got, even with the armor damage, so I'm still just gonna rock it. And if you're wondering what's going on, you've never seen Mechwarrior game before, these are battle mechs. I'm 55 tons of War Machine, and then you get to customize the weapon systems that are on board, like lasers, missiles, lasers that didn't reach because they're out of range. That thing is an SRM carrier, so we don't want to be near it, waiting for the lasers to rearm. Those are those close range missiles that'll do a number to us. Good job, Commando pilot.
Target destroyed.
I think that was Murphy. But how do you know? Because they look the same. Nope, that was Weber. All right, we're here. I hear a VTOL.
Target acquired.
Now our range is currently 450 on our large laser because it's a crappy large laser, no upgrades. You do get better versions to shoot some missiles at them, but LRMs will make short work of a VTOL. I wish we could fly those. Not the greatest example of one, as it detonates. Why are we here? Grab loot. Roger.
Target acquired.
I would love to. What loot? Would you like to identify said loot for me?
Walk on up to the treasure. To
Ah, there it is. Yay! Jump, jump. Can I do this from above? No. Ah! It's fine. It's so... I don't quite fit.
That's the last of the targets, Commander.
I love how fragile buildings are. Like, yeah, you're 55 tons of mech. All right, you probably can go through a building, but also a building is probably, what, a few thousand tons of building? If you walk through it, eventually they're gonna win. And you're just gonna be at the bottom of a pile of building.
Enemies on scope.
No, no, no. And if you miss with the new laser rebalance, with the weapon rebalance,
Target acquired.
oh. We wanna kill these because we might get some loot out of it and we can salvage in case we don't get any of that, that mech. Didn't land on my face. I'm pretty sure they can't do damage to you if they land on you. So all we gotta do now is get back to the evac before any of their mechs find us and kill us. This was a rank 1 to 2 or rep 1 to 2 mission, so nothing too crazy. Think there's loot over there? Wait, what is that beacon of light? I thought I replaced all those with smoke, so what is it? Maybe it's something I've already picked up. But now I have to check. Are you loot? Whoa, it's a tank! Hey, we just got an AA tank. Okay, so Coyote's loot doesn't change color, it doesn't have smoke. It's got like a little, like, sensor indicator. Interesting. So like I was saying, Coyote can get ground vehicles. You can get tanks and stuff. And I love this. One of my favorite things about the Battletech turn-based game that came out is mods like Battletech Advanced or Rogue Tech, where you can really, I'm not gonna make it! No balls!
Empty.
Okay, team, don't follow me. That really hurt. Ugh, that'll buff out, I'm sure. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We only need to get one mech through to the evac site, right? So we're just gonna get into Locust. And we're gonna do what the Locusts do best. First, I'm gonna shimmy down this mountain because Locust can shimmy, as long as we don't get stuck. Oh, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we're a Locust, we don't care. We're nothing but legs. Is this the right way? No? Yeah? Yes. Yes, this is the light. Excuse me, Griffin. Excuse me. Oh, shit. Everybody follow me. Do not engage enemy targets unless you need to. They will engage targets if they have the opportunity to fire. Balls. Ow! And without upgraded machine guns, they are for range. There's the LRMs from the Griffin coming in. Nice. So you share sensor data. No, I don't want to fight you. I'm leaving. Oh, our exit's up there. Damn. All right. Guess we're going in. Hey, missed. I do want to kill him though, because there's a chance for loot there. We don't know what we're gonna get. All right, now let's head back. I'm trying to scrape together every piece of C-bill I can get right now in our first mission. I love that we got an AA tank. Ooh! Ah!
We'll begin the recovery procedure.
Yes, I ran through him because I panicked. Nice! Awesome!
Brilliant. Payload acquired.
Okay, top left-hand corner, we can see the health of our units. Looks like we're doing okay. That was another LRM, LRM 10 this time. That's long-range missile 10. Cool beans, cool. Whoa! Oh, we didn't pick this up. Awesome. Free stuff. I love this mission. What was that?
Excellent find, Commander. Beginning recovery now.
C-bills, I think.
Victory is ours, Commander.
And a laser. Yeah, a small laser.
Prepare for evac.
SB, which I don't remember what SB is. Super burst. No, that's not it. The laser variants get weird. I kind of like the pulse one, but mostly just because of the sound it makes. How dare you, Combat Wombat? Urbies and Locusts are just target practice to get the lasers warmed up before actual combat. You know, there's nothing scarier than a Locust, because it's never just a Locust. If you see a Locust, that means all his buddies with LRMs now see you, and that's that shared sensors that I was talking about. One of the problems that Mechwarrior Vanilla has is its focus on just getting bigger tonnage, because that's the sense of progression. Actually, decent pay. Here's our salvage. Ooh, AC5s. Jenner, here's the Jenner salvage. So these are pieces of a Jenner. For every 5 tons of mech, you need 1 bit of salvage. The Jenner is a 35-ton mech. So what is that? It's like 7 tons? 7 salvage, excuse me. 7 salvage for the 35 tons. Which, yeah, pretty much is on point. I will take that. I'll put together a Jenner. Jenner's a really nice mech. It is not bad for a toilet bowl. And then short bursts, that's what it was, short. And the way that we're moving fast with the Locust, slapping some short bursts on there might not be a bad idea. Because I think the actual burst time is shorter, so it does its damage faster, but it doesn't do as much damage as a normal small laser. I think that's how those work. It does have a graph, I could just use the graph. Let's see, duration is 1 second versus a normal small laser, which is a duration of 1.1. Let's grab the AC5s. Not that we can use them, but we could sell them if we need to. Also, always a good idea to grab medium lasers because there's always the medium laser tax. Always feels like those are exploding. And then 132,000 payout. And for repairs, we had total damage of 43,000. That's not bad at all. That is a good run. I'll take it. And there is our first episode. Sorry for the long amount of chatting and talking. I think we can get one more in, right? Let's get one more mission in. Let's do full repairs. It's cheaper to not do this in a war zone like we are right now, but we've barely gotten any damage and we need to do a few more jobs. We can get another mission in. There's a rescue, an infiltration contract, attack and defend contract. Attack and defend sounds like a lot for our current lance. It's where you have to defend your base while attacking an enemy's. There's another raid contract. Yeah, I'll happily do another raid. Let's go. That was fun. Except for this is now fighting for the right faction who doesn't mind us. All right, we have a contract here, and I don't think I'm gonna make any changes to our lance just yet. And I don't have a reason to bring that tank with us. Not for a raid. Maybe for an attack and defend? So let's grab all the salvage shares for now. We can't take anything else, but notice it's up to 9 now because we got 2 of these. Heck yeah. Damage coverage is pretty sweet because that means if you take damage, like the payout's better. So 400 covered, right? So that would be way more than we took last mission. That could be pretty worthwhile. But honestly, we need equipment and I'm gonna bank on us not dying. And as long as we complete the mission successfully for what they want, we'll gain standing with them. So we'll get more negotiation points to work with them. Making like higher end missions more and more valuable. Also, there's a tonnage limit for what we can deploy. I think we can go over the tonnage limit with the mods that we have, but it costs us more and more. It's not as worth it. We can't go over right now because we just don't have any better mechs. All right, here we go, team. Let's get paid.
Enemy forces have a series of warehouses in the area that our employer wants destroyed. Move to the marked nav points and take them out.
All right, so
there is a high amount of hostile activity in the area, Commander. So don't stick around any longer than you have to.
Ugh.
We've dropped into the middle of a firefight. If you avoid engaging the enemy, you might be able to accomplish your objectives without taking too much damage.
Satellite link.
Right. Okay, so there's a fight going on here right now. And there's only one way to navigate. Are you kidding me? There's only one way to navigate. It's through here. So, all right, that's super linear map. I mean, we could jump. And this is co-op, by the way. Like, you can't play this co-op with a full lance. And that would probably mean the world of difference. I don't know, it looks like we could get through, maybe? We're gonna be a little bit limited because the only unit that has the ability to do a jump is me. I have jump jets, which are literally that. Hey, look, a pop-up turret. No.
Scrap that one.
Don't want. You are mechanically silly. Get out of here. Is there loot over here? What were you protecting? I can hear the VTOL. Nah, there's no loot here. Nothing that we're interested in.
Target acquired.
So they're purple. They're also, I have to get up here to get to the objective, so we're just gonna punch through. Don't have much of a choice.
Target acquired.
Following your footsteps, Commander.
Go ahead and engage. Oh, that's probably a terrible idea, honestly. Because I just sent you after an SRM carrier and they're gonna...
Jump jet fuel low. Jump jet fuel empty.
Ah, no!
Target acquired.
There we go.
Target destroyed.
Oh, don't let him shoot, don't let him shoot.
Eliminated.
My medium lasers have a 270 range.
Target destroyed.
Hey,
Target acquired.
you suck.
Target destroyed.
There was a mod, I'm told it's kind of janky, but I kind of wish it worked, which lets you have a VTOL as like one of your lance mates and you can fly it. I think it's well truly dead though, as a mod that's not being developed anymore, but it's still, I love the idea of it.
Target acquired.
Because it's not that VTOLs would be terrible against mechs, it's the fact that they don't, like they just kind of sit there. and it's more about the number of them. Hey, we got an Irby. This is not our objective. I really do need to focus on our objective. Why did I not focus the Irby? Holy crap. All right, all forces target the Irby. Irby is a walking trash can with a giant gun on its shoulder. It's got an AC-10. Definitely want to bullseye that and remove it as quickly as we can. We've got the armor off of it. We got it. So now all he's got is a small laser. I'm literally worried more about you than I am that Irby.
Target destroyed.
You guys continue to engage that. I'm gonna go in and find the objective. There they are. This is our objective. Womp. You've got like an airfield in here. Oh, is that literally more loot for vehicles? It is. Scorpion tank. So I've only ever had one tank since been playing with Coyotes mod. I've never had more tanks. I'm really excited to have more of them. All right, face planting. This building's gotta go, and it's made out of cardboard, so let's use our face. It's just gonna rub on it, don't worry about it. Do we have to take out the whole thing? Okay, maybe raid missions are the way you get the tanks, and I just didn't do them enough before. I wanna steal this. Why can't we just call dibs on this? I want like a heavy VTOL with transport capability. Why is he still alive, team? Oh, I thought I could land on top of that. I think I just landed on the roof. His core is exposed.
We're on it, Commander.
Giving you orders to engage? That does not sound like me. What the hell? What are you? A Scorpion tank. This is what we just looted. Sir? Stop it.
Target destroyed. Target
All right,
acquired.
follow me.
Forming on you.
We're on the move. We still got multiple objectives to destroy. Oh, there was a building there.
Target destroyed.
All right, that's counted as destroyed.
Falling in fire formation.
Yeah, fall in. We gotta go. I do a max 78, which isn't super slow, but I love it when tanks come in boxes, right? It's assembly it yourself tank. Easy shipping. Is that the objective? What are we fighting?
Target acquired.
Oof.
Target
Don't look at me.
destroyed.
Don't look at me.
Incoming missile.
I don't like the sound of that. And we don't have any kind of AMS system either, so we're just gonna eat those hits. I'm relying on you, team. Take it out. I'm running the objective right now. I'm running into the objective. Okay, that wall is more solid than I imagined.
Target acquired.
That sounds like a lot of air. It is a lot of air. Womp.
That's one less target.
Okay, lock it. There is a minimum range. It's coming right for me. All right, we got one more. We gotta go.
Target acquired. Incoming
Oh,
missile.
balls. Ow, look at my health. Stop it. All right, we have one more target. Looks like I think I've taken the majority of the damage. Let's yeet some missiles at that guy. It's only an LRM-5, so it's not exactly fire support supremacy of doom. But it is what it is. I'll take the damage. Team on me.
Forming on you.
I've lost sensors on it.
Target acquired.
600 meters. Stompy stomp. Do I fit through here? Yeah, we're good. Game's got like a pseudo randomly generated nature to it, but also I think the maps aren't random, but the stuff is. Oh, I'm totally gonna use my face for this, aren't I? Yes, I am. Arrgh.
Target down.
Sir?
That was a
Stop
great
it.
showing, Commander. Our benefactor
No.
will be pleased with our success. Now get back to the dropship.
All right,
Destroyed.
let's go home. Some of you are already next to the objective. What is he doing? Oh, he's still trying to get that last piece of objective wall. I got you.
Welcome back, Commander.
There's our
Stand
dropship.
by for extraction.
We're out of here. All right, 265. We've got 9 salvage. We could get parts of an urban mech. I mean, I kind of want to. How many do we need? It's a 30-ton. So 6. So we're halfway there to an urban mech. And even if we don't keep it, right? Like, let's say we rebuild it and it's missing its engine, we can still sell the chassis once we've built it. I'll take another AC5. Now we'll have 3 of those. And let's stack up some small lasers. And an SRM2. Now, these pips are the quality of the weapon. And one of the things that we can do, and I'll run through here and show you, is we can go under our battle mech screen, and under these new buttons, because of the mods are here, we can see the salvage we've collected so far. So 3 out of 6 for the Irby, 3 out of 7 for the Jenner, of our bits, weapon upgrades. As we get like low pipped weapons, we can combine the best pieces of those weapons to make a single weapon that is far, I guess, higher quality, newer maybe, like it just runs better, and it'll give it better stats. And we can go up to what, 4 pip total, I think is the max, maybe 5. I think there's a 5th symbol. I don't remember. We'll find out as we go. But we have, you know, those autocannons that we picked up where we can make better and better autocannons as we go. And that will increase their range, their fire rate. It actually does make them pretty damn good. Ooh, nice. And you just gotta click them to do it. I'm gonna hold off on that though, because we might wanna sell some of that equipment to get some money back. All right, everybody, that's gonna wrap up our first episode. It is now, what is the date? It is now, no, it's May. It's May 17th.